my name is Busla.
Bonjour, my name is Dosavia Trinu.
Hi, I'm Georgia.
Hello, my name is Javier Macosay.
Hi, I'm Melita Bintoro.
My name is Renee.
I'm a junior here at the University of Southern California.
And I'm a senior majoring in political science and French.
And I'm a sophomore majoring in communication and minoring in French at USC.
Here I study comparative literature, English, and French.
I'm a junior. I'm studying geology.
I'm a senior at USC, and I currently study communications.
I'm an electrical engineering student here at USC. I'm minoring in French.
I graduated from the University of Southern California in May, where I double majored in French and narrative studies.
Well, originally I chose to learn French mostly for personal reasons, as my mother and my grandparents and my uncle all speak French, because when they were in Iran, they actually attended French school.
I began studying French actually because it's a funny story, kind of by accident. It had to do with my friend in high school and me switching from Spanish to French. Didn't have anything to do with the language, but when I started taking the class, I stayed with it, and I fell in love with learning the language really because of my professor, from my teachers, and from then on I've had great French professors that helped me to truly understand or to explore another culture that I knew nothing about besides the Eiffel Tower.
So one of the reasons I'm also studying French is because I enjoy it, and it gives me a break of programming, physics, and math. So whenever I come stressed from my math class, I just go into French and forget about numbers, forget about everything, and just enjoy the class, talk about a reading, we're doing a film, or some philosophy. And then after that, after I do my essay for French, I feel refreshed and like jump back into physics and programming, and it helps me a lot to concentrate better in my engineering classes.
I was born in Paris, France, and I came to America when I was 3.5 years old. So French was my first language, but my mom always wanted my siblings and I to continue to study it even when we moved to America.
I'm Indonesian. I'm from Indonesia. I first learned French in Singapore, and when I was 15. And at first I was just taking classes there, but when the summer after that year, I went to Montpellier for the first time when I was 15, and that was when I first learned how much I really liked French.
Well, I really love, of course, the sound of the French language. I think it's a very beautiful language in general, and I love how it's also made me think of other languages in a more like linguistic sense, to think where the root of these words come from, and like the Latin origin, especially because there's so much crossover between French and Spanish.
I'm a Spanish speaker, so it's easier to learn French because you already know the tenses and you already know the basics of the Romance languages.
My first language is Portuguese, and I chose French because I think it's a beautiful Romance language, and I want to learn, more Romance languages.
I also liked French culture, so Camus, Simone de Beauvoir, Jean-Paul Sartre, all these like great philosophers, and also a lot of great scientists have come out of French, like Louis Pasteur. Other ones I can't think of now.
It was always close to my heart. I always felt that I wanted to learn it, and coming to college where I all of a sudden had that opportunity to be able to explore new languages since I took Spanish in high school, I thought now was a great time to learn it.
I would say it was just a general culture that fit me. I liked the school system. I felt the education system fit me better when I was there.
When I decided to come to USC for college, I chose to study French as a major because I was interested in teaching it, and I really didn't want to lose touch with the culture and the literacy.
French also created the SI system, so the way the units are standardized in science is from France. So there's a lot of things that the French have done in terms of like higher education that I really like.
I come from a big city. I come from Los Angeles, so all of a sudden going to a city with like virtually one main street was actually kind of scary at first. I found myself constantly feeling like, oh, I've like been to this street before, I've done this before. But at the same time, I also had those experiences where I would be sitting on the metro, and I would all of a sudden see someone who I randomly saw in town 2 days ago, who I had no idea who they were, but I just recognized their face. And having that experience of seeing a stranger who all of a sudden you like know and recognize is completely uncommon, and of having that experience in such a big town. So I think it's those little experiences that make it so special, so different, and so nice, so comforting.
When I was taking classes there, I took French classes with the University of Bourgogne as well, and in those classes I met with people from Saudi Arabia, Argentina, Korea, Japan, and all these people, but the only way that we could talk was in French, and that means that I could communicate to all these people from all around the world, not just French people, but people from very international people from everywhere. I could talk to them through the means of French, and that was like it opened up new doors. But it's not just, so what I mean is learning French is not just like, oh, you can only access France, like you can also access like Morocco, the African French-speaking countries, Belgium, Luxembourg, right?
I think French is a very applicable language if you want to travel in the world, because it's used in so many different continents and you get to meet millions of people by that language.
I'm able to use my bilingual talents to teach English and to teach French. I was also able to write and work for a subtitle company. Well, it was really a French film production company in Paris called Lobster Films, and I was able to write their subtitles.
Since I'm an engineering major, I've seen that a lot of companies do have international opportunities. They send engineers to Europe or other countries to buy equipment, and if you learn the language, it's more likely that you're gonna be hired by those companies.
I'm really into modeling, and I was able to work for Paris Fashion Week as a result of being there through connections.
French is also really useful in international business, in international diplomacy, or if you simply want to work for Disneyland in Paris.
And I hope one day to either work as an ambassador for a foreign country or to work for the United Nations. So, of course, having experience in learning languages is important, as well as visiting the countries and having that exposure. So I hope that not only through my study of the language, but also through study of the culture by studying in France, as I did over the summer and as I hope to do next year, will really help promulgate and progress me towards those goals.